My next guest is Amanda Daniels from GPS Education Partners. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you so much, Carol. I'm so happy to be here today.
Oh, I'm happy to be here with you too. Tell us a little bit about what GPS Ed does.
Sure. So GPS Education Partners has been serving students, schools, businesses, and communities in Wisconsin for more than 2 decades. We build work-based learning programs, which means in our ed centers, our students spend almost 25 hours a week learning and experiencing work on the job. And so work-based learning in its essence is connecting businesses to education in a way that really supports relevance and launches students into their careers.
That sounds like it makes so much sense to give students that experience, and I think it would just be such an advantage at a young age as you launch into the world.
I think in our 20 years plus of doing this, what we've really found is the impact it has on students. It's just life-changing. It's changing for the businesses. It really reinvigorates the staff who work with the students to be able to share that knowledge and experience. It helps students find their path, both to college and career. And it really, truly invigorates an economy. Jobs for the Future has a study that shows that when companies invest in career pathways that include youth, you increase consumer spending, you encourage new businesses to come into the community, and you reduce unemployment. So we're on a mission. We truly believe in the power of work-based learning. And so that's what we're here to do. We're here to help build those pathways to college and career by connecting students to business.
Is there a particular type of student that is right for GPS Ed, or is it a broad-based program?
So we will say every student needs work-based learning. Our education centers do serve students in high schools across Wisconsin, but we build programs for businesses and for communities like Milwaukee. So we are supporting Milwaukee Public Schools, and we are supporting Cyber High, which is a charter school within Milwaukee, to expand and offer work-based learning so that students in Milwaukee have the opportunity to see careers in their world, and not just through a career in technical education and not just through a college program. So better understanding and better planning, whether you're a naturally driven student towards college or you're a student who is really trying to figure out your place and direction, we believe that work-based learning fills both of those needs. And so we would say it's a ubiquitous solution. It's really there for every student and really very important for every student.
Can you give me an idea of some of the different types of businesses that are involved in this program?
Oh, absolutely. So we have more experience with manufacturing in the heart of Wisconsin, right? So Generac Power Systems, that's where we started. That's, we say we started in industry and we mean it. Those are our founding partners. But we also, MPE, Medical Products, those are some local companies that we have partnerships with. It's really a vast list. So our website, gpsed.org, lists so many of them, but it's more than 100 businesses. We also have partners that help our students launch their career pathways into construction, into IT. And when I say IT, we have students building security features into off-the-shelf software. So these are real career launchers. We have real work. Students are, they're not just standing around sweeping floors, right? They're getting their hands dirty. They're really engaging with customers. Platypus is a software company that I could give as an example. That's where these students are they're really uncovering their strengths and identifying opportunities through work-based learning.
That's amazing. So I'd like our viewers to know, I encourage our viewers to make a donation, but where does the money go when you receive donation funds?
Oh, that's a great question. So there are lots of hurdles to work-based learning. Transportation, you think of like healthcare careers, they need scrubs. Manufacturing, students need steel-toed shoes. So even just getting to interviews and job shadows, donations help us make those resources accessible, whether we're providing the funds to buy the shoes or we're providing gas cards to help them get to these interviews or to these job shadows. But the other really important piece that these donations help with, we do not charge our school partners the amount that it costs for us to go out into the communities, to bring in social supports, to bring in workforce development to support, and to really reach out to businesses to build these opportunities. So those donations make it possible for us as a nonprofit to continue to put human resources toward making sure these doors are open for our students. So that is where those donations go to. And I promise you, as I have a young man from Cyber High who is going to put 50 miles in for a job shadow with Pepper Construction tomorrow, as a matter of fact, the money for things like a gas card, they're invaluable. So it's opening doors and overcoming hurdles is how we put that money to good use.
That's terrific. And what about volunteers? Is there a place for volunteers in your organization?
You bet. There's more than just opening wallets. We're looking for you to open your schedules too. Work-based learning means we need our students to hear from professionals. How did you get from where you are to where you started? Like, what was that road? And guest speakers about different career industries, mentorships. A lot of our students in our Milwaukee public schools and Cyber High, they don't have a lot of opportunity to get out and engage with their business community. And so having those mentorships as early startups to build confidence in working with adults outside of their school, family, and church communities can really help a student be successful once they hit internships or they hit youth apprenticeship opportunities. So we definitely need mentors and guest speakers. So open those schedules because we have students in your community that are ready and needing support.
Fantastic. So Amanda, tell us your web address so that our viewers can find out more.
Absolutely. And it's a great way to see our business partners, to learn about our school partners, and to learn about how to get involved. And you can find us at www.gpsed.org, gpsed.org.
Okay. And also viewers, you can always go to milwaukeemag.com/giveback and you can find out about GPS Ed, as well as all the other organizations we're talking to in the series. Amanda, thank you for being with me.
Carol, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Take care. My next guest is Marcy Boucher, President and CEO of Independence First. Welcome, Marcy.
Thank you, Carol.
It's good to see you, and I'm eager to find out more about what Independence First does. Can you tell us about your mission?
Yes, so we exist to help people with disabilities live independently in the community.
And how does that play out? Tell me about, I understand you have 5 core services that you provide.
Correct. We do advocacy, so we help people find their own voice and also advocate to legislators to make change in the community. We have an information and referral department, so any services that you need in the community, you can just call us and we can tell you where to get the services if we don't provide that. We have a peer support, so it's just kind of like what it sounds. We do different classes and we mentor people on a peer level. So somebody who might have the same disability as you would help you through whatever issue that you have at that time. We do independent skills training classes, and we have over 40 different workshop and classes that we offer, like cooking or hiking, some just different fun things, budgeting classes. And then our 5th core service is transition. And that's broken into 3 different categories. So we help youth get graduating from high school to transition into adulthood. We help people who have gotten stuck in nursing homes get back into the community, and we help divert people from entering institutions. So if they had maybe gotten into a severe car accident, we're living paycheck to paycheck, and lost their apartment, and the hospital has to do something with them after they've been there for an extended period of time, they would have to go to a nursing facility. At that point, when you're on disability and you enter a state-run nursing facility, that facility gets all of your disability check except for $45 a month. So there's no way you can get out at that point. So that's where we come in, and we help people find affordable, accessible housing, help put in ramps if they need it, their doors widened, so they can get back and be a productive member of society.
Boy, that is an important service you provide. I mean, that's just a little bit scary to think that someone could find themselves in that position where they can't save up the money to get out of a nursing facility.
And it can happen to anybody at any time. A lot of people think people with disabilities, they're born that way, or it's them versus kind of us, and it's not me that's going to happen to. But that's not the case. Actually, 87% of disabilities are acquired later in life.
Wow, that's an amazing figure. And I understand that part of your efforts to help people with disabilities, your staff, 50% of your staff have disabilities, so that it's sort of a peer helping a peer.
Exactly. So we are actually mandated by the federal government to be here. There's about 450 different independent living centers across the United States, and we are one of 8 in Wisconsin. And that's the way the federal government set it up. So even though we're our own independent nonprofit, we are mandated to be here by the federal government.
I understand.
So 50% of our board and 50% of our staff have to have a disability.
Wow. Well, that I think is very important. We all know the importance of seeing people who look like you or that you can relate to in a variety of ways. And I think that's tremendous that you're staffed that way. You mentioned the transition program that you are collaborating with Freighter on. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So we received a grant through the Craig Nielsen Foundation, and we're partnering with Freighter Hospital and 414 Life in the violently acquired spinal cord injury department. And these are people who have survived gunshot wounds. One of the gentlemen that we're currently helping, his name is Alford, and he was just driving around in Milwaukee, and he was a victim of road rage. And when he got up to the traffic light, they shot through his window, and the bullet got lodged, went through his jaw and got lodged in his spinal cord. And he cannot move any part of his body except for one finger. So he can't move his head, he can't move his mouth, his eyes, his legs, nothing. And he was doing really well. He was actually working at Target and going through a managerial leadership class that they were providing for him. And he was just a great kid. And now he is a quadriplegic.
Wow. Wow. Well, it's so wonderful that at least there's support for people who've had these tragic things happen to them to help them get back on a better road.
Correct. So one of the things we did was, although they're a hardworking family, they didn't have enough money to put in a ramp. It costs about $7,000. So through this grant, we were able to go in and put a ramp in for him so he could get his electric wheelchair into the house. So he was able to be surrounded with his loved ones, and they can help take care of him. His girlfriend is his personal care worker, and she is actually employed by us now as a personal care worker taking care of him. And that's one of the other services that we provide. So if you have a disability, you could have your mother, brother, sister, father, loved one, friend take care of you and actually get paid through Independence First.
Oh, that's great. That's important, because a lot of loved ones do end up being caregivers, but they still need to make a living. Someone needs to work. So that's fantastic.
Exactly.
So I'd like to tell our viewers where the money goes when they make a donation to Independence First.
Yeah, so we have a very low administrative rate. I think we're at between 10 and 12%. So almost all of your funding will go towards our programs. And so it goes towards providing the independent living programs. You can designate it in any program that you like. So if you have a heart for maybe you want to build a ramp for somebody, you could donate the funding for that, and we would designate 100% of the money. If you designate it for a specific project, it would go for that.
Oh, that's great. That's always good to hear. And do you have a need for volunteers?
We do. We actually have a feeding program that we partner with Hunger Task Force. And once a month, we provide food for seniors. And it's a drive-through food distribution. And we need volunteers that can help load up the cars with food, because we donate over a month's worth of food to everybody, and it's good food. This last month, they actually had youth singers bacon in there, and people were just so excited. They're like, I haven't had this ever. I can't afford to buy it. So that was nice to see.
That's great. Tell us your web address so that viewers can find out more information, make a donation, volunteer,
Sure.
all those things.
It's independencefirst.org, www.independencefirst.org.
That is easy to remember. And also they can go to milwaukeemag.com/giveback. And we have information about Independence First and all of the organizations that are taking part in this Give Back series. Marcy, it's great talking with you. Thank you for the good work you're doing.
Thank you, Carol. I appreciate you having me on here today.